Do 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 do. I am so excited to be here with you. Holy moly, there's a lot of people, as we talked about in our previous training right now, who are in a world of change, and we're trying to provide opportunity, inspiration, hope, and all these things. And I just want to make sure as I step into this, no matter where you're at in life, know that I'm here for you to challenge you, but support you, create options with you, brainstorm possibilities with you, go after a bigger ambition in your life. And in the context for what we're going to cover today, your business too. So many people have asked, hey Char, if I'm starting from scratch, what do I need to do for setup? What do I need to do to think through from a mindset perspective, how to get my business going, how to go after it? So this training is really dedicated for those who are, the solopreneur, small business owner who's looking maybe to pivot and just kind of get that punch list together. So if you haven't watched our first session training, starting from scratch, and if you already have, maybe you need to watch it again to kind of get the frame for how to think through a lot of what we're going to talk through tactically in our training today. What I specifically mean is we talk in that training, and I talked about this in our earlier training today, about finding out what it takes for you to survive that break even so that you can feel a sense of relief once you recognize that your business created the income to reach that break even. And my dream for you is to have that break even, that monthly cost that it takes to survive, reach consistently over the long term with recurring revenue, recurring income. Typically that's done today through subscriptions. So if that doesn't make a lot of sense, here's the way to think of it. There's a given in the sense that we're paying bills every month, power, lease, mortgage. Sometimes these things are paid quarterly or half yearly or whatever that would be, insurances, those kind of things. Our goal is to set up our business in a way, if you really want to go after it, we talk about in that session 1, that recurring income, recurring revenue, in such a way where we're billing out continually for a service, a product, a solution that provides value over time. So in the context for small businesses that are service-oriented, that can be maintenance contracts, service contracts. In the context for a lot of the thought leader work, which we'll concentrate on a lot of that today, that's monthly subscriptions where I'm doing a training and some Q&A, and I'm helping you grow in a certain way in line of my expertise. So as you may know, for me, there's 3 areas here. There's the life side of things, and my biggest chunk of that is me being a high-performance coach, helping people through this beautiful framework we have. 48 total sessions now, 12 on the core that go over the high-performance habits, clarity, energy, courage, productivity, influence, what the highest performers in life and business know to really go after continual joy, engagement, and confidence from their best self, right? But just saying this is amazing. Because if you don't know my story, I used to be a much bigger dude. And I wasn't nearly as vibrant and happy as I am being here with you right now. Wasn't really clear on my purpose. I knew what it felt like to do things that I thought were good, but I wasn't dialed in like I am now. It was high performance that really helped me in the last decade. Then we step into 12 more sessions on this book, The Charge, diving into the human drives that make us feel fully alive. Contribution, creative expression, challenge, change, control, consciousness. All these things that make us feel more alive, right? Then we step into the declarations. These are the things that we're going after our goals. We're taking decisive action. And we're going to overcome any thoughts that are hindering for us. And then finally, we have our new leadership series, which is the kind of the basic foundation for what we're covering today. Servant leadership. Humbly helping others to their benefit for the long term. In context for what we're doing and how we're going to start today's training, we're going to go over the 5 Ps. The very first one is purpose. And when we think about servant leadership, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes what we have to really consider is this. What does it take for us to feel most alive on this beautiful planet? And for me, it got real clear. First, taking care of me. I can't love others until I love myself. Second is helping others. Now, I'm blessed that I do it in 2 ways. Help others improve their lives, typically through this framework in our health, wealth, and happiness training, which we did earlier today. And I hope that helped. Holy moly, we went over 10 areas, 10 ways to generate purposeful income. and then help people grow their business too. So today's health, wealth, and happiness training really helped hit both of those spectrums. At the end of the day, I measure myself. Did I help improve somebody's life today? Yes. Usually that's multiple people. Did I help somebody grow their business today? Go after a bigger ambition, create income? Usually that's yes with multiple people. I'm so blessed to be able to tell you this, but I'm really clear on what I do to those ends. We're going to go over the details of that as we get through this. From my context, I'll be illustrating my example. I'll bring some stuff up on the big screen so you can see how I made it a business and how I take the monies and do the delivery and all this kind of stuff. So I'm really excited for where we're going to go today. But we're starting with perspective, the perspective of purpose. That being said, let's go ahead and walk through this. From what I've just shared with you, how purposeful have you felt in the last month? 0 to 10. Now that doesn't have to be in the context for what I shared. Improving people's lives somehow or growing their business. Typically though, if you're watching this training, you probably have a business or are thinking about starting one. And my challenge for you would be, how am I doing that? So in my life work, I am improving people's lives, typically through this framework and my high health, wealth, and happiness training. In my business work, I'm helping people grow their business. That's what today's goal is, today's ambition for you. So I'm living purposefully just talking to you right now. Loving on this, loving on you, taking care of you. Cool? What is it for you though? What are you doing to feel purposeful? And what have you done to feel purposeful? If you were to rate yourself in the last month, 0, not purposeful at all, I'm vegging out, watching Netflix, and maybe that is purposeful for some. If they're documentaries, or you're learning, you're growing, that can be a sense of purpose. But if it's just binge watching garbage, maybe you got to question yourself. You got to check yourself. On the other spectrum, really going after it. Like in the context for today, this is a day where I dedicate myself to training and then just Q&A and answering and brainstorming ideas and stuff in our roundtable and just owning that with our mastery community and really going after that. Incredible amount of purpose today. This last week had half a dozen high performance sessions. I think it was about a dozen sessions, and then a bunch of check-in calls, helping people. I saw some people sign up for some of my products online. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. In light of this isolation, there's a lot of people that are looking to learn and grow. So does that make sense? So that's just my illustration here. But what is that for you? Next up is, how passionate have you felt about life and business in the last month? We think about the high performance definition. Full engagement, joy, and confidence. Consistently living from our best self. Right? Full engagement and joy and confidence. Enthusiasm, energy, passion. How have you been doing with those things? So many people have been reporting, Chara, I'm falling off. And I shared in our health, wealth, and happiness training, I was falling off. I was like getting up at 8:30. I'm like, whoa, I got to check this. Because then I started to see my productivity dive. I'm like, ooh, this is not good. I'm coming right back online. Get back on track. And within, I think it was 2 days, I noticed that I was getting up around 8:30. And I was like back to 6:30, getting right on it, going after it, and really owning it. Bringing the energy and enthusiasm. And I hope I'm doing that for you and being a good example for you right now. Thank you so much for being here. Can't thank you enough for letting me just be the person I know I can be for you. To create a safe zone for you. To not bring judgment, but to bring growth. Good conversation. No blame, no excuse, no denial in this realm. We're going after full accountability, ownership, responsibility here. Taking control of our life and our business and really aiming that thing somewhere spectacular. You love it? Next up, positivity. Goes right back to what we just shared on the high performance definition of joy. How positive have you felt overall? Shared in our health, wealth, and happiness training today. I woke up and was not doing well a couple of days in the last month, and I had to course correct. And we talked about the practice that I have for that in that training. If you didn't watch that training, go ahead and watch the replay. Make sure you get in there because there's some really helpful hints and tips, along with 10 great ways to create purposeful income. Next, productivity. And when we think about this idea of productivity, it isn't necessarily about getting more things done. It's about getting the right things done. Framing for, we're clear on what our life's work is, but we're also clear on our responsibilities. And we're time blocking to go after our life's work. Maybe that's an hour every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it might be the project of building our new entrepreneurial dream. But then we're also time blocking to handle our responsibilities. Remembering, and write this down if you have your notes out, schedule plus focus plus discipline equals freedom. say that one more time. Schedule plus focus plus discipline equals freedom. I'm a living example of that. People look at a week in terms of my calendar and the people I'm reaching out to and talking with, and they're like, that would exhaust me doing that for one day. And I still have a lot of free time. Time to play with my girls. Josie, my youngest, and I have been playing a lot of World of Warcraft. We've been going through the land of Azeroth and rocking things out, taking care of flying on these hippogriffs and these griffins and all the, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Such a really creative way. And I can really fully enjoy that because I live into that definition, that formula I just gave you. So what is it for you here in the last month? If you rate these 4, what's showing up for productivity? Especially in the context for when this is being filmed, the world's in isolation. We're starting to come out of it now, beginning of May 2020 here. But the idea is that people's productivity is all over the place. Some people are doubling down and going after their dreams and growing and building. Other people are like, that's what I wanted to do, but instead, I'm just kind of chilling out. And some people are just like, I'm supposed to sit in front of the TV and watch TV all day. That's what they're telling me. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do mindless entertainment. And I've got a couple of people that I've worked with on that, just to kind of pop out of that mindset and that frame. So that being said, I don't know where you're at, but I do know this. If you want help, today we're going to cover a really powerful topic to jumpstart profitable business for you. And I'm going to give you the illustration how I've done it and how many of the people that I work with, a lot in our mastery community right now, are doing it as well. Finally, and this ties it all together for what our topic is today, profit. How are you doing at reaching that break even and going beyond it with your own business if that's your desire, right? We talked about that in our Health, Wealth, and Happiness training today. If we know what our break even is and we can go into one of these 10 areas or a couple of these 10 areas and get it going and still have time to do what we want in life, not like bury ourselves, more power to us. So I talked a little bit about leaning down what your expenses are, being on the hunt, 10% reduction every month, every quarter, every year, whatever that is for you. I'm on that hunt always, looking to shave, save, take care of it, and live a really, really lean life that way. But I love what I have, and I live a life of experience, not stuff. So in the last month, how are you doing there? And it may not be that pretty for you depending on what's happened to your workflow or your job, especially those in hospitality. I got a few friends who are in hospitality right now, and they're like, we've got to get back on track. We got to get people flowing again, or I got to figure something out. They were part of the inspiration for our Health, Wealth, and Happiness training earlier today. That being said, this ends the perspective part of our work today. Let's dive right into training. Now, the idea and the ambition for today's training is ultra clear. And that is quick start walkthrough to create a profitable business. So in the context for what I'm going to teach today, this is more of an online business where you're a coach, teacher, trainer, online course creator, consultant, and you have a mechanism for serving people who have specific needs. So as a frame here, there's a couple things I want you to write down. Number 1, the 3 realms of sales. And that first realm is generating awareness for who you are and what you do. So the awareness realm. So think of it like social media, putting posts up every so often. Hey guys, here's some inspiration. If you need some help with this, reach out to me because I can help you with this. Second is the lead generation, meaning that people are looking at what you've got, but they haven't made themselves non-anonymous to you by reaching out to you either through Facebook Messenger, through your website, signing up for something you have for them, giving you an email address, calling you to say, I really do want to work with you. I do need what you have. I do need that next step in my journey around what you've shared. You follow? And I'm going to give you real specific examples as we get into the computer work today. And then finally, the last piece is the S, the sale. So I don't know why they don't teach this. I've heard it from a lot of people, even in our mastery community. Char, nobody taught me this in college, and I took business classes. We have to start with what we offer, like what we're offering the world. And we've got to think that pricing through. We've got to think through, as I challenged you earlier about the profitability, to have recurring income, subscription income. If you want to sustain, we have recurring expenses to really make those things match. To hit our break even, then we have this recurring revenue that's just moving along and it's over our break even and we're not killing ourselves in the process. Does that make sense? So if you're foggy on that, go back to session 1, season 3, and watch Starting from Scratch to get the idea of how you can connect those dots and the 3 levels of income. Trading time for money, recurring revenue, preferably passive, and percentage of sale, percentage of profit. And I think that will really help facilitate that for you. That being said, my challenge for you, if you're going to set up an online business, coach, trainer, teacher, online program creator, whatever that is for you, is that you consider having an offer that is recurring revenue based. And you may have other offers too. You follow? So once you figure out these elements, okay, here's what my goal is, here's what my ambition is, here's how I want to help people, then we have to think through, all right, how are we going to bring this all together to let the world know? How are we going to bring this all together to get the monies, to take the income, and have it automatically rebuild? And what's the process for that? So I broke it out for us. If you're going to choose a platform, meaning a solution online today, I have a huge bias and preference towards the beautiful tool of Kajabi. And we'll be getting into the nitty-gritty of that as part of our work in this session today. So you can see how that kind of works and how you set things up. I'm going to kind of do a basic walkthrough for you of exactly what I have set up and how I've created well over $500,000 in the last couple of years through Kajabi. This doesn't represent all income because only part of people are paying through Kajabi. Some people pay outside of it, like with checks, and some people pay through my old QuickBooks system, stuff like that. But I'm going to kind of frame for you how that works. But I don't think $1 million, $500,000 in a couple of years is too bad. How about you? Right? I just want to make sure I'm not trying to be braggadocious here. I'm simply trying to tell you what's possible. I want to make sure I'm demonstrating the results. I'm hopefully a role model for you. But in line with what we're going to cover here today too, I'm the research reporter expert. Does that make sense? A lot of people, they can tell you what to do, but they aren't doing it and they haven't created results from it. I want to make sure that I'm living into all 3 for you. Really critical. A lot of what we teach or what has been taught in Experts Academy, which was an older program provided by our master coach, Brendon Burchard, is the 3 types of, or the expert positioning, 3 R's. Research reporter, role model, results expert. I just want to make sure that you're seeing the results aspect of this. That being said, if I'm going to go through and create a profitable business, again, our angle today is for coaches, trainers, online course creators, even consultants. You want a platform that does a few things. So let me kind of frame for you. Now, it's pretty in-depth here. All I want you to know is that Kajabi, the tool I recommend, which you can go to bit.ly/KROCKS, the number 4U, bit.ly/KROCKS3. I'll make sure I have a link down below. And I do, just full disclaimer, I do get compensated for Kajabi if you sign up through that link. And here's what I teach, and I want to be sure you know, is that the affiliate part of this is that if you decide to use Kajabi and you teach from it, you can get affiliate income from it too, meaning you get commission as people sign up for it. I'm very careful though about what I recommend in terms of affiliate links and so on, is stuff that I actually use and believe in. You follow? So I just want to make sure you see that or feel that connection. And we're obligated, and by law we have to say if there's any links where we get compensated, that we are explicit about that. Does that make sense? So Kajabi is a tool I've used, I've solidified on. I got rid of all the other tools that I used to have. The only one that I'm still using that's just from history is QuickBooks for my businesses as the way to interface with the accountant. So I export sales from Kajabi and Stripe and PayPal into QuickBooks, and that's how the accountant does taxes at the end of the year. Does that make sense? Might be a little too deep for you. That's the concept. So if you're going to choose a platform, here's the elements of what Kajabi has already built into it. Just wanted to make sure I covered these with you. Number 1, it has the ability to take money. It has the ability for you to publish offers for single payment, multi-pay, and subscription. And you'll see as I bring up one of my businesses for you, there's a lot of subscription. Almost everything is subscription based. That's what I teach. That's what I live into. Recurring revenue equals personal freedom, baby. So think about that for a minute. Real powerful. We just gave you 2 techniques today for creating more freedom in your life. Mind freedom, time freedom, money freedom. Schedule plus focus plus discipline equals freedom. Recurring revenue equals freedom. Get the hint. Take the hint. If you need help, you know I'm here for you. So it needs to have that capacity. So a multi-payment is where, this is usually $10,000, but you can do 6 payments of whatever 10,000 divided by 6 is, which is what, 5, 2,100, somewhere around 2,000? I guess that'd be $12,000. If it was $12,000 and you did 6 pay, it would be $2,000 a month for 6 months. Does that make sense? So Kajabi has that capacity, and it has capacity for subscriptions. And that's the bulk of what just keeps humming for me in creating revenue. And that's how I've gotten to where I am in both businesses that are in Kajabi in the last 2 years. Email. Should have a good email system so you can keep connected with those who express interest with you. Here's what I've noticed, total side note. The restaurants who made it a point to create an email list are the ones that were able to email their customers and let them know during this isolated pandemic that we're doing takeout orders, and they provided incentives. They have a much greater chance of survival through an enduring period of time where it's just takeout only, especially here in Southwest Florida. So 3 restaurants that I love are owning it. And I don't even remember. I know I wrote my email address down on a feedback card. They really went after that. And they're generating, from what I've been hearing from them, they're generating good revenue from that. So a good email list and a good strategy to keep something going, some sort of information to the people that sign up. Now, if you're following me, you know that I have my weekly wisdom. Started that at the very beginning of 2020. That's part of our big ambition, to put good value in the world, but also classify people who click on the different links as to how I can help them further. So for example, and we'll go over this in a little bit, if people click on the life link, where I provide something that helps them with their life, that tags them that they're somebody who's involved or needs more help in life, right? They tag on the business, they get tagged in business. Online, they get tagged for that. So when I do future marketing, I can segment them. Does that make sense? So that's the email piece. Marketing with scheduling, automated sequences, tagging, and segmenting. If that doesn't make a lot of sense to you, all you have to know is this. Kajabi has this. Most email marketing programs do. You can schedule emails in advance, which makes automation awesome. And you can automate sequences. So if somebody signs up for something, a drip happens. For my 10-day health, wealth, and happiness challenge, you get day 1 on day 1, day 2 on day 2, and it walks you through a sequence. And I can tag people and then segment them for future marketing. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, do some research, Google it. You're going to learn a bunch. It's awesome stuff. Bonus, automations based on recipients' behaviors. What's really cool about it is if somebody goes through your email and clicks a link, you can tag that person. You can give them a bonus product. You can do a whole host of things inside Kajabi that really enhance their experience with you, that rewards them for their behavior. You follow? Really cool. Product program updates. The emails also are served as you update or add programs if you're creating online courses, for example, or in our case, when I put replays up from this very training, it goes into Kajabi, and then I put a replay, and I put the audio file in there, and then the related whiteboard and everything else. And then I email through a product update. Hey guys, just want to let you know, today's updates or yesterday's replays are available from our trainings. Go ahead and watch them and take your time. And I got the audio versions of them, so if you don't want to watch them, you can at least listen to them. So that email sequencing happens there. Next up is that you have the availability to create pages, because what's a website? But it's a collection of pages, right? The beauty is you can create just 2 or 3 pages and have a full-blown website in Kajabi, and that is helping people become a lead. And I'll show you the weekly wisdom sign up, and helping people pay you, right? I haven't changed the homepage of my Life and Business Success website from the store since I started it in 2017 intentionally, because I wanted people to see. You just put your prices up there and you say, you'll go out and build value in other ways, and they'll reach out to you and be like, hey, you know what? Let's talk that through. So I'll get on a discovery call with them, talk through what they need. And I'm like, hey, go on my homepage, click on this link for a strategy session or a high performance coaching or whatever it is, and let's get started. Join the mastery community. Let's get started. Go watch these trainings, and it's going to help you along your ambition line. You follow? That's crazy how little you really have to go after creating revenue today. Keep in mind, we have the awareness piece, put in context for what I shared, putting stuff in social. We have the leads piece saying, hey guys, if you like what I'm putting on social, I got something else for you. It's a weekly email or a monthly email. and they become a lead because they've given you an email address and permission to send them information. Once they're in your email, then you can do what we teach is mini launches. The idea that, hey, I got a product or a promotion that I'm running right now for a limited time, jump into it over here. And you send a certain sequence of emails out to the people that have opted in for your information. You follow? I hope this is all kind of jiving for you. So pages, fully configurable landing pages with the ability to integrate payment. So what that means is when you go to a landing page and you have the ability for them to buy, right? And I'm teaching at a more advanced level how you can leverage, hey, I got a course for $997, but if you want the course and the support for life, join my monthly program for $297. And you get all these other bonuses too. So there's what we call price juxtaposition in there. A $997 for just the course, but I get the course and everything else for $297 a month and support. I'm going to go with that. And that generates recurring revenue. You follow? Good stuff. Sales pages with price juxtaposition, we just covered that, especially for subscriptions. Just gave you that example. The basics. Next up is the Customer Relationship Manager, a CRM. And Kajabi has a basic level of it. You can take notes per customer. So this is really powerful. If I decided to have sales reps and they were working the leads, the people that have qualified themselves that they have interest in what we do, then I could go in and they could type in notes in each customer. Hey, I reached out and called them. I talked to them about this. Here's what they said. Here's what we're doing. And then I sent them the offer. And that's tracked in there. It's a very basic level of customer relationship management. If you're unfamiliar with that term, Google it, take a look at what it means, and some of the bigger programs that do that, like Salesforce and these bigger entities. Kajabi's got basic levels of that in it, and it works out great. So you have the ability to see the notes per customer, their history of purchases, and it also presents you with the opportunity to see what they might purchase from you. You know what? They bought this and this. Their next step in their ambition for growing their business would be this program. So for example, in my context, people who get into our monthly membership, if they have any inkling, any desire to go after creating a monthly revenue source, then the 0 to 100K training that I have, the online course, 7 critical things, 7 things to avoid, of exactly how I went from 0 to 100K inside 7.5 months, I think it was. And while it was fresh and raw, I created that training so that I would forget the nuance, the little things that worked and didn't work. Because once you get beyond that and things are rolling, you're kind of like, how did I do that again? Does that make sense? So that's a really good training that a couple people have purchased recently that really helped them down that ambition line. You follow? I hope this is kind of landing for you. Finally, affiliates. When you ask anybody who's gone through and created mega success online, they've usually done it by leveraging the power of other people's networks, other people's connections, and rewarding them for that purchase. And that's done through a commission or an affiliate link. And I just want to make sure you see, like Brendon Burchard, for example, Total Product Blueprint version 1, I think it was, the one that I got in on back in 2011, I think, is when, or maybe 2012, $4.7 million in sales inside of 7 days. How? He leveraged and created a massive opportunity for affiliates and grew his brand like crazy. So going back to what Kajabi offers, it doesn't offer in the basic version when you buy the basic subscription, but know it's in there for the future if you decide to upgrade. Affiliate management, affiliate payments, and affiliate with every offer that you have. And you don't have to use it for every offer, but I use it for my monthly subscription offers. So people can get part of that on a recurring revenue basis. Yes, what did I just say? I just said that if you have somebody that you know who has interest or could benefit from the work we're doing, you can make 20% of the cost, or the sale price, if you will, of them buying into it. We cut our affiliate checks on January 10th, April 10th, July 10th, and October 10th. And every time it's been over $1,000 going out to multiple people for people who referred to us. It does mean that you have to be an active member to get the payment, because I want to make sure you believe in what you're selling, you believe in what we're doing. Does that make sense? If you want more information on that, I'll put a link down below to make sure you have access to the affiliate page and you can understand what that looks like. Here's the thing though, at $297 a month, that's like $60 a month in affiliate income at 20%. That's almost $720 a year for one subscription, and all you did is create a connection. Follow? gold. So these are some of the elements of the platform and what they should have in it. On top of that, it should be relatively easy to set up and go after. And you'll see Kajabi does have a learning curve, but it's relatively easy to get things to go, to get these things set up and to take monies. Does that make sense? So if you're interested in learning more, or you already have Kajabi, and I'm working with a lot of people who do, bit.ly/KROCKS4, and I'll have that link in the training as well. That's the magic. There is more to Kajabi than this. These are the basic elements of what you want to make sure you have. Next, when you're going to create a profitable business, there's 3 major items you got to sort out. 1, getting your business registered. I did my registration for Life and Business Success Group Inc. through bizfilings.com. I think it's bizfilings or bizfiling.com. And that really helped me understand what the difference was with an Inc., an incorporation versus a LLC. And basically, just so you have a frame, like the LLC is a limited liability company, and its protection was less for what I'm doing than an incorporation, meaning that they couldn't come after me personally. Through an incorporation, it's a little more difficult than it is through an LLC, at least at the time. This stuff changes with seasons sometimes. Second is you get a bank account set up. All you're looking for in order to get this thing configured to take money is a bank account number, like a bank account number and a routing number. And these are the things you got to feed into Stripe and also into PayPal to interface with your bank. So the way that the payment system works is that Kajabi lets you create offers. And when people purchase, they have the choice, at least in my world, to choose between Stripe or PayPal. And I think it's just PayPal, and Stripe happens automatically. So when they choose, they put in a credit card, it automatically goes through and charges that card, and that money goes into PayPal or Stripe as a holding place. Stripe automatically releases that money within, I think it's within 48 hours to your bank. PayPal, I think you can configure it to release it. I do it manually. So it holds the money until I tell it to transfer it to my bank account. So does that make sense for the flow of this? But you have to have a bank account. And the reason I have that after getting your business registered is make sure you get that set up and rock it from that perspective. Cool? Then the third piece that's required to set up like Kajabi is a domain name. So my domain name, I have 2 domain names connected to Kajabi, lifeandbusinesssuccess.us and also internetservicesgroup.com. And we'll be working in Internet Services Group today in a little bit, just so you can see it. Once you have those pieces, then it's time to set up shop in your chosen platform and go. That being said, I say we do a little bit of fun and activity so you can visualize how to do this. And for those of you who are setting up Kajabi, that you kind of have a walkthrough, the way I like approach to set up a new Kajabi account. And again, if you're not using Kajabi, whatever the platform is you decide to use, these are the similar things you're going to need to do as well. Cool? So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring the laptop over. And basically what I want to make sure of is the way I approach, and I've set up many, many, many Kajabis over the years. And I even used the old Kajabi back in the day. So here is my homepage. And the way I've chosen to create my Life and Business Success Group homepage, as I referenced earlier, is that it's just an online store. First free product is the 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge. You can click on that to learn more. Second is join our Life and Business Mastery community and click on that to learn more. Third is a high performance strategy session, $997. 12 core sessions for group, $6,000. 12 one-on-one coaching sessions with 2 bonus sessions is $18K. 24 one-on-one with 4 bonus sessions is $30K. Some people ask, why do you have bonus sessions? It's because when we go through the framework for high performance, there's a very specific curriculum, and a lot of people want to discuss, for example, in the core sessions, they want to go back and review the idea of what was covered in persuasion mastery and influence and productivity based on what their current needs are. So many people love what we teach, those 9 elements of influence and the persuasion formula, especially when it comes to online sales. Like, that's the magic. That's how you create emotional resonance, emotional fuel for people to be like, oh my gosh, I need that, is through that beautiful framework. So that's the basics for that. This is the store, right? As I alluded to earlier, this is where we go from the lead typically to the sales conversion, where people pay me or become a lead, going from the awareness to the lead conversion right here, or they pay me and get right into being a sale and being part of a monthly program, a monthly subscription. Now, in terms of going out there online, as you probably have seen, or you may not have seen, I have a weekly email series. And in that weekly email series, here's what it looks like. I'm putting out value to the world in the three big realms that I serve: life, business, online. So I curate really great content for that. And here's the thing. This email goes to people. If they click on this, it tags them inside Kajabi as somebody who is more interested in life stuff. If they click on this, it tags them as business. If it tags on this, or they click on that, it tags them for online. So I'm able to segment my audience when I decide to go after launches to say, hey, I noticed you have interest in growing your business through the power of what's going on online. This may be of help for you. I noticed you have an interest in business. This may be of help for you. I noticed you're really trying to get more masterful in life. Here's something that may help you. That might be part of a mini launch. If you're not familiar with mini launch and you're in our community, I teach you the power of mini launches in one of our previous trainings in season 3. So make sure you watch that. I also teach you exactly how I laid this out and why is another one of our trainings in season 3. So you can make this your own. Does that make sense? Here's the true art to this, is that each of these links, they go out in social during the week this email's out. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example. And then I can tell them in the comments, or if they go to a link that I've created for my stuff, if you want more of where this came from, sign up for Weekly Wisdom. Does that make sense? So it's a really great, tidy little social media strategy that generates awareness, positions you as an expert, but also sends people to your opt-in page, which is what this is called. It's the landing page where people are like, you know what? I do want to get more of this from Charlie, so let me sign up for it. This whole page is created in Kajabi. Does that make sense? So I just want to make sure you're really clear on what we talked about earlier. You have the awareness going out online. Typically today that's done through social. Then you have a way for them to connect, to receive continued value from you. That's where they become non-anonymous in your world, and they have given you an email address in this example to follow up with them. Cool? Now keep in mind, I have life, business, online, 3 different ways that I serve, right? So in each of those areas, I have to be world class at what I'm trying to go after for people. I have to understand where they're fallen short, where they self-assess they need more help. So I've created these assessments, 7 areas. One's for life. How do I reduce stress? Give me more energy. What's my life all about? And really powerful questions there. And it has a mini course and a downloadable PDF. In the business realm, I'm running a profitable business I am proud of. You rate yourself. There's 7 other areas you rate yourself in. And in the internet realm, I connect actual sales in my business to my online presence. Great relationships, great businesses. How are you doing there? So as you think through the sales cycle and how Kajabi helps me, here's what I know. Somebody comes to me, or I meet them, or this happened 3 times this last week. Char, I really need some help. One gal had reached out and she said, I'm struggling right now. I'm doing great with my business, but I have 0 connection or passion and energy in it anymore. And in my life, it's starting to seep there as well. So I had her go through and take the life assessment first and report out what her ratings are, so I know where her gaps are, if that makes sense. You follow? When she did that, she also signed up for this beast, the 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge, which really helps you get that sustained energy bump. We go over those 10 areas that I teach. That we teach as people in personal development. Sleep, hydration, eating nutrient-rich, exercise, breaks, happiness, and so on. And I go through 1 topic per day over that. This is delivered through Kajabi as well. So with what I've shared so far, I want to kind of recap for you. What we're trying to do here is say, hey, you know what? I have things that I can do to help you, and they cost some monies. And that's the hardest part for a lot of the people that I work with. They're like, well, yeah, if they call me, I'll kind of walk through what I can do for them. My challenge for you is to just lay down the offers. And if you need help with that, go into our Zoom roundtables and we'll lay those offers out for you. We'll get that created. Because once you have an offer and you can stand behind it, I teach this in another one of our trainings this year, in this season anyway, Mastering Sales. Once you have full 100% belief in it and energy, enthusiasm behind it, people feel it and they're like, is that what I need, Char? I'm on it. And they go in and they click and they buy. You follow? I'm getting chills just telling you this. I'm so excited for you. So you've got to develop your offers. We spend so much time in our roundtables talking about this. But if you need, and don't ever feel like, oh, it's a stupid question. I know you've talked about this before. Don't ever feel like that. It's wherever you're at in your journey. That's what we're trying to accomplish. In a minute, I'm going to take you into the behind the scenes so you can see how easy it is to set up an offer and to take the monies. To take the money. It's so simple. It's so crazy. Like, the technology has truly never been easier. And I can tell you that because I've worked through building technology to take payments since before the World Wide Web became popular. We were doing it through a bulletin board system. And if you don't know what a BBS is, Google that. You're talking antiquated in terms of today's technology. Ways of collecting money online. Oh my gosh, that was a whole nother story. So, kind of pulling this out. This is more advanced. I have 3 different areas that I'm serving. My challenge for you, and there's training on this as well, is to think through in your main area of the way you serve, your main way you create ambition for people, that you remove them from pain and take them somewhere. What is a lead magnet, an involvement device that you can provide that helps you understand where they're at in the spectrum for what you do? For me, it's 7 questions in life, 7 questions in business, 7 questions online. And they're not really questions, they're more assessments where you rate yourself in those areas. Does that make sense? I'll make sure to link to those assessments and everything in down below as well in the training. Just want to make sure you're clear on that. And I don't think you have to have 3. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you need 1. One that demonstrates or shows you a conversation that can be had when you have a call with them before you give them the link to purchase from you. So let me give you a real clear way that can work in my world. If somebody takes a life assessment and they see, oh my gosh, they're lacking in their hobbies and passion, they're not taking care of themselves, their energy is dying out, everything else seems to be all right. They want to feel more of life. That's where the conversation is going to go when I reach out to them. Hey, I saw you took the life assessment. Thanks for sharing your ratings with me. Let's have a conversation and talk about ways to bring back the zest, the verve, the vibrance of life. 20-minute call. And so I'm going to go through and we're going to reiterate the struggle. And then through that call, I'm going to say, do you want some help getting that back online faster? If you do, let's go through a strategy session with high performance. And I would send them the link here to this guy, the high performance strategy session. Can you see that okay? Let me move that over just a little bit. Strategy session with me. There's a little bit of an intro video for it. And I talk you through what that actually means, what high performance is. This is the basic boilerplate text for what high performance is all about. And over here is your ability to purchase the offer. And then boom, you get into there and you put in your email address, and the next thing you know, it asks for money, and it's on its way. Can you imagine a world where I didn't have that offer defined and I'm like, so I can help you, let me think about this and I'll send you an invoice and we'll see what that is. When you have this done, your job is to go out and just serve and help people. It remove the sales process because you're just educating people on getting what they want faster. And you happen to have a mechanism or a process for them to do that. So the process of this helps people get clear on things. It goes through, and what's in high performance habits: clarity, energy, courage, productivity, influence. These things high performers know to bring more vibrance and connection and love online. But the money and all that's taken care of. Some people self-sabotage, and believe it or not, and this may be you, they self-sabotage sales because they're like, oh, I got to create a proposal for them. And they just take their time, drag their feet, and that person's no longer interested in 24, 48, 72 hours. Have you ever done that? I know I have early in my days. I'm like, oh, I missed that opportunity. Because by the time I reached out to them, they were done with it. So I just want to make sure you're seeing how this works out in reality for all these different lead conversion. These are these assessments, meaning that they give me an email address and show me that they need some help in a specific area. And then the offers that take them through it. I have another incentive, which is this online presence report card that walks through any small business who's online. This concludes the stuff that we're doing here on the 7 areas to create a healthy online presence. And it's engineered so that you're going to get a D unless you're paying very close attention and doing things consistently along best practices at a world-class level. Like, I hate to fill this out with somebody because they're like, I'm getting a D minus or an F. I'm like, whoops. We start out easy with mobile readiness. Security is pretty easy. Schema, people don't even know what that is, so I have to educate them, and I do that in the video. But that's another landing page in Kajabi. That's the page. I'm ready to find out. There's some testimonials. And then this, below this, talks about how do you believe your clarity, focus, enthusiasm, life affect the profitability of your business? Do you feel those things influence how well your business grows through the incredible power of the internet too? Your life, your business, your internet presence, they're all connected. Find out exactly how to create, build, and maintain a purposeful, positive, profitable life, business, and internet presence below. And here it is, the life assessment, the business assessment, my internet assessment. You see how this all interconnects? I'm just so happy that I can share this with you, and that Kajabi has made it insanely easy to put this together. Comparative to doing the coding that I used to have to do, that took weeks. I was able to create this site in like 2 hours. Now, granted, I have a lot of history with this, so it's probably a lot faster than most. But if you're watching this, you have the absolute opportunity to have me help you with this. And that's what we're going to be doing in just a little bit, so you can get a basic idea of how this works out. So with that being said, let's go ahead and think this through for you in line of what we're sharing here. And I'm going to start on the action list now. So the action list over here. Define your offers, 1, 2, or 3 offers. Now you saw mine. I have the monthly program. Let me bring that up. Over here. Let's go back to the store. I have the monthly program, $297, strategy session, and we'll just go here with 12 one-on-one sessions. So I have an $18,000 offer, I have a $1,000 offer, and then a $297 offer per month. You see the price juxtaposition there? You can work with me one-on-one and it's very expensive. We can do just a dip your toe in the water one-on-one. It's $1,000 for 90 minutes. You can get into our monthly program for $300 a month, and you're going to get all these things plus more. Like, you're not getting the one-on-one experience per se, but you're getting the one-on-one. You're getting the group coaching, and you're getting time with me in our Zoom roundtables. That's a limited resource. Only a certain amount of people can take advantage of that offer. And that's how that can play out. So I don't know what it is for you, but I really want to make sure you're defining your offers. Cool? If you need help with that, that's what our Zoom roundtables are. If you're not in our master community or somehow watching this, please reach out to me. We'll talk about how you get in the mastery community, get that support that you need. Second on the list is set up shop. And this is where I want to get a little bit tactical with you. So let's go ahead, and I've got this defined here. And here's the way I approach setting up Kajabi from the beginning. So this is the interface on the back end. When you log into Kajabi to set everything up, this is what it looks like. Now, the place I start when I set up Kajabi is I go to settings and I work from the bottom up. And basically, it's like a checklist. Consider the screen to save me so much time. Like your checklist. You want to go through, and I have printed this page before and then checked it literally on the piece of paper. You want to go through and make sure, like, this lightning loader is a new thing, but you want to make sure that's enabled. So if you click on it, you'll see. Is caching turned on? Yes, that just means that your site loads faster. You want to make sure your contact info is all proper, because it's how Kajabi can contact you, the people who make the program. You want to make sure you've set your notifications on privacy, which is just how you're going to receive information from the makers of Kajabi. You want to set up your billing, your plan, make sure that's all set up. That's how you're paying for Kajabi. You want to set up any account users you have in your website. So you're one account user, but you can set up another one that can help you create things and control their access. You want to set up your password. You want to get the general details associated with this account setup. These are all things, literally this right here takes maybe 10, 15 minutes. Done. Check on account settings. Now we move up here and we get from mobile app settings. I don't know if you know this, but you can get a mobile app now in Kajabi that lets you view all the trainings in the libraries through your mobile app, whether that's on an iPhone, iPad, or a tablet, and this lets you configure those things. Your icon, so for this business, that's the banner, or the icon, the logo, and then the membership banner, and some email swipe copy they give you to send that notice out to your people to say, hey, you can get into the programs. Your static pages. So when it comes to this, and feel free to take what I've created and make it your own, your terms and your privacy policy. You don't have to create that. Copy what I've done. And you can do that by going to these addresses. At the very bottom of the site, let me just show it to you so you have a frame. And I hope this helps you save a ton of time. Terms and privacy is in the lower right. I don't know if you can see that. Let me move this over a little bit. Terms and privacy, you go into terms. You copy this text, change out the information that says Internet Services Group, make it yours, and you're on your way. That all makes sense? So these are the pages for that, terms and privacy. Then we go back up through the fields for our forms. I just left that alone. The custom domain, remember we talked about that over here to get your domain through GoDaddy. This walks you through exactly how to set it up. It's a really streamlined process. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, how am I going to connect my www address to my website? Very simple process. They've streamlined this much. They've made it a lot simpler than when I signed up for Kajabi a few years ago, this version of Kajabi. Email templates. This is where you can control the messaging and what it says and what it looks like for all the templated emails. And I prioritize that for later on. I wouldn't worry about that when you're setting up because the templates are generally okay. Third-party integrations. From this perspective, the only two that I recommend you set up is Google Analytics and a Facebook Pixel. And I can see I haven't set up Google Analytics on this site yet, so that's on my to-do list as of right now, and a Facebook Pixel. I do have it on my other site, my Life and Business Success Group. So I'm going to be setting those up. So these two things are the main two. Even if you don't really care about analytics or Facebook Pixel, this information is critical for later on down the road from how people are using your site, how people are getting to it, how long they're staying, those kinds of things. And then for future marketing as well, Facebook Pixel. So I'm going to be setting that up. Just converted, well not just, it was not too long ago that I moved ISGFL, which was our own domain, to the Internet Services domain in Kajabi and got that going. So that's the third-party integrations. Payment integrations, this is where you connect it to Stripe and PayPal if you want. But that requires you to have your bank account set up. Subscription cancellation, this is where it's one little checkbox. Do you want people to be able to subscribe? You want to make sure that they have to ask you to unsubscribe so that you can say, why are you unsubscribing? Is there anything I can do to serve? Like you have another chance to retain their business or help them before they unsubscribe. Drip setting, this is a simple automatic like course announcements. If people are on my 10-day health, wealth, and happiness challenge, it sends out the day 1, 2, 3. Controls that. Done. The blog settings, if you use Kajabi blog, here's the basics. Just so you know, one of our members, Patrick, he uses Kajabi for his blog. I don't use Kajabi for my blog because I already have them set up in Tumblr, and I'll show you those in just a second. Oops, I think I typed that wrong. So the patrickmosier.com, and he's using Kajabi. So he has his blog here, the Wisdom Exchange. Pivot to the Now, rocking it out. And then what I believe, look at these beautiful pictures, rocking it out, helping the world in really powerful ways. So that's the concept there. Whoops, let's go back over here. Pop back into settings. So the blog settings there. Checkout settings, how you can update and make sure that you're not violating, and I got to set that to optional actually here. That members can choose to be on your email list or not, and that's the best practice nowadays with this new GDPR. And you can do tracking codes and stuff like this here. Pretty powerful. I hope you're getting the idea as we're going through this together that this is a to-do list and it's pretty self-explanatory. For those people that I've worked with who are having trouble getting Kajabi going, they're like, I don't know where to start. I start in settings and I just work my way up from the bottom and fill it out. Any questions you have, if you're in our mastery community, write them down, email them to me, and I'll give you the either best practice answer, whatever that would be. Cool? I hope this is helping. This is my goal for you, is to really own this process, to make sure that we're living into this as we step into really serving the world. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump over to the next thing that you want to concentrate on. And here's the order of the way I love to do it. Define your offers, and now let's put your offer in, right? So we'll go to products and we'll go to offers. So inside Kajabi, it's under products offers. And to create an offer, not doing too bad with net revenue, considering we just switched to this. In the last month, we've done about 83.45 in recurring revenue. I'm just transferring some of our clients over from QuickBooks to here. Just so you know, as a side note, the amount Intuit, which is the owner of QuickBooks, charges for credit card transactions is higher than Stripe, which is what Kajabi uses. So it's in my best interest to make more money to switch them to Stripe. So I'm trying to get them over to it, and it's a little tricky with the way people are. But I hope you can see that I'm generating some results from this perspective. Add new offer. So then we have the title of the offer, and we'll just call this one monthly membership. And there's a product associated with that. So when you go to set up an offer, you can have a product or you don't have to have a product. And basically you can just, I think you can skip that, yeah. And then you can just put in the price point. So monthly membership, let's just say it's $97. And we save that. So I'll go over what that means in a minute with the product. Here's the thing. We edit the price, and this is what I was talking about over here. We have the availability for single, multi-pay, and subscription payments. My goal is always, always, always for you to have recurring revenue. That's where your preference should be. Recurring revenue equals personal freedom. If you know my story, when we got that straight in 94, built a business in 95, the business that bought our business bought us because we had a great recurring revenue stream. 10,000 customers paying around $20 a month. What's the math on that? I don't remember. 10,000 customers. What am I doing here? 5 of those, 20. 200,000 a month times 12. That was a $2.4 million just in the subscriptions part of the business. And it was because we focused on recurring revenue, which was subscription access to get to the internet. So here we could do a new plan. Payment amount is $97 a month. Currency is there. We build every 1 month. You can do trials in here. You can do a setup fee, all that. But for what we're doing and for what most of the people are in our group, done. We now have an offer. And if you want to see that offer, there's a preview right here. We click it and boom, we can now take money. Now we may want to edit that so it doesn't say insert call to action. And we may want to put a pretty picture with it, but we don't have to. We can take money if they give us their email address and credit card number and hit complete my purchase. Like, you see how this plays out? How easy that can be? If you've built the case that what you have is going to solve their problem, you can leave this out and just send them the link to this with that money. And I've had most of our sales have been people are like, Char, I know what you got's going to help me because we've talked it through. They don't even need to be sold again through content. Keep in mind the warmest customers, the people that you've worked with, are cool with it. They're like, Char, if that's what I need to buy, I'm on it. I'm in. If you're building for scale like we're doing now we have to build the case for them because they're cold traffic. They may not know me. We may not have had a discovery call, whatever that would be, right? So now we have to do the work here and put in the call to action. We got to create the emotional fuel. And going back to what I talked about earlier, session 10, the persuasion formula, acknowledging their struggle, talking about the ambition, and then saying what you've got bridges that gap is the very basics for what should go in here. The value of what you have. Then if you add features, advantages, benefits. If you join, here's the feature you get. Here's the advantage of it, how it makes your life better. Here's the benefit for you in the world, for those you serve, those you care for in the world. If you do 3 to 5 of those, that's the kind of text that should go in here. Does that help at all? I hope I'm not overwhelming you, but I want to make sure you see, we just created an offer in like under a minute, and it was really powerful. So that's the context there. In terms of editing that offer, you might put a picture in, a pretty picture. And I recommend if you're a coach, trainer, that it's got you in it with some copy in it. Like for Life and Business Success Group, if you go into my offers, you'll see there's me with a strategy session. And it's just so they recognize, okay, there's a safety there, that there's somebody I know that he can help me, that kind of thing. The description you can put in here. Inside Edit Checkout is where you can turn off the banner. In the offer details is where you edit that text that they were showing where it says insert call to action and all that. So right in here. And then you would describe your monthly program. Again, leveraging that persuasion formula along with features, advantages, benefits. There's training that I have in our ultimate offer outline that walks you through all that if you want to get more mastery there. I like to turn the banner off so it's just not as confusing for people. You can do that by unchecking this box. You can put your own banner in there if you want. And then if they go to that page, we can do the preview here. This is what they see. The money, maybe there's a picture, monthly membership, and then what they're getting for it would be in that area. Does that make sense? That alone, if you are clear about putting value in the world, through my weekly wisdom as an example, and saying, if you need more help here, let's get on a call. And then you say in that call, I think my monthly membership is good for what you're going to get. And if you get in there, you're going to get access to this training that you can take immediately that will help you. Then you can send them this link and they'll sign up. Hopefully. No guarantees, but they should be able to sign up. Does that make sense? It's a whole different story than so many people talk through when they're like, Char, I want people to sign up for this thing. So where's your offer? Oh, I haven't really fleshed that out yet. And people are just in this limbo of trying to get this stuff done. I just wanted to make sure you saw how easy it is to set up an offer in Kajabi. That being said, let's go back here. If we wanted to set up a different offer for a coaching package, we would go back to offers and we create another offer. And in that one, maybe it's, well, let's just do what I said, the high performance HP strategy. And maybe for you, it's just call it a strategy session. We're going to get on the call for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. It's going to be, let's just say $497. And there is no product associated with that offer. So we're good there. $497, save. Boom. Preview. Again, you'd edit the text and maybe pull the banner out. And then people can complete their purchase. And again, if the people that you're sending the link for the offer to are warm, meaning they know that's what they need, they don't need the text. They just don't need it. They're just like, if that's what you say I need and you've linked to it in an email, I'm on it, I'll put my information in and go. I got to tell you, you may not believe me, but I've created easily over $1 million in sales in the last 4 years, just sending people to a place to pay in the old Kajabi and in the newer Kajabi. It's crazy how that plays out. So I just want to make sure you see the creation of the offers. So far what we've gone over in Kajabi is this. We've gone over, I'm going to talk about email in a minute, but we've gone over the fact that we get our business registered, we get a bank account because you need it, a bank account. If you're going to do it under your business, you need the business registered first. We get a domain name set up. Those 3 elements give us the ability to create our Kajabi site, create a couple offers, and like I did on my Life and Business Success site, I'm going to bring that up. I just put the store up. And all the store are just my offers. That's it. I put a nice picture of me with an ambitious thing. My business name is ambitious, Life and Business Success. Like, hello. Let's create a purposeful, positive, profitable life and business. And then down below are ways to do that. You see how simple this is? I hope you're sensing it. If you're not clear on how to word your stuff simply, that's perfect work for us in our round table and make that happen. So that being said, let's think about what we've covered so far. Let's do a recap real quick. We've gone through, here's all the things that Kajabi can do. And if you're going to choose a platform, they should have these capacities. We're showing you them as we walk through this. Create the basic foundation, business registered, bank account, domain name, set up shop. We've defined and created 2 offers so far, the monthly program and the strategy session. We've set up shop, one-time things. I've walked you through the settings of this. Now there's the continuity component of this, which I've talked about here. That's the weekly wisdom. And that's something that I do through the email part of Kajabi. And to create a weekly wisdom, I'm not going to show you a weekly wisdom because there's crucial data in there that I didn't filter it for privacy and I can't show you certain things that have people's names on it. But I'm going to do one in here as an example. So I went, just so you have a frame, over on the left menu, under marketing, there's email campaigns. I click email campaigns, it goes to this, and I'm creating this email campaign called testing. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to start from scratch, just so you see it from the very beginning. So we do new campaign, email broadcast. Email sequence is if you want a series of emails to go out to people, like I do in my 10-day health, wealth, and happiness challenge. But this is just a one-time broadcast. I always prefer to use the classic editor versus their templates because I like emails that are really personal. I don't like the branding in emails. I like the personal messaging. That's always worked for me. It's worked really well for me. So by default, it says, who do you want to send this to? It's all people, but you can do a custom segment. Remember how I talked about how people that have clicked on my life links in my weekly wisdom, I can send to just the life people, to the business people, to the online people. This is the same sort of thing here. Does that make sense? Is to really get that custom segment. So if I'm going to send a business webinar I'm doing, I probably just send it to the business and the online people, and to give them maybe VIP first dibs on things, and then I send it to my generalist second. But for now, for this example, I'm going to send to all. Next up, I'm going to edit my content. The internal title, let's just call it Weekly Wisdom number 1. And the title that people will see in their emails, Weekly Wisdom number 1. Let's just say that's whatever is May, I don't know what day that is, but May there. And then I have, here's 3 links that will help you in life, business, and online. And then I would have life, business, online. And then I might put in for the life piece 10 ways to generate purposeful income right now. I think it was 10 ways to create purposeful income right now. And then when I have that there, I can highlight that text, go up here, click this thing, and then link to whatever that video is, would be probably in YouTube, and boom, it links it up. And then when they get it, they can click on it and go. Once I'm done editing the email, I go to save and continue, and I can review it and make sure that it's set up. And I do have, for this particular one, my logo showing up. That's a setting that you do inside settings. I'll probably turn that off. I don't use this for email. I do all my emails through my other Kajabi account. Then next we do save and continue. And this is where you can send it right now, or you can send it at a specific time. So here's the beauty of Kajabi and many email marketing programs, is that you can create your weekly content well in advance and have it ready to roll. And that's what I recommend for small business owners. Take a half a day, the beginning of the month, and set up your weekly content to roll for the rest of the month. Put it in your calendar to get in there before the next one's due. Set up your next 4. Make it easy on yourself. Very similarly, the links that I put into Weekly Wisdom, I can schedule those on my page and on my groups inside Facebook. So I'll set up a month or a half a month in advance, just so there's continual value going out. And I'll add to that when I'm on Facebook or whatever and see things our members are doing. And I'll add to that as we go through it. But that's the magic of Kajabi. And that's how that can be done. The cool part, remember how I said tagging happens automatically? Or tagging can happen where like if somebody clicks a link, that the tag is in there. Let me show you this advanced trick, more advanced trick in Kajabi. And so for this link, I'm just going to link to this 10 ways to generate purposeful income right now. I'm just going to link it to the homepage of my website, Life and Business Success.us, and then hit OK. Now below this email are automations, and I can add an automation. I think you can see that, where if the email is opened, it does a certain thing, but if a link in the email broadcast is clicked, I can do a specific thing. Okay, I got to save that email. Let me do that real quick. A little clunky on Kajabi side is that you got to save it and then go back into it. So there's a link in there. I go down to the automation, and then when a link is clicked, and now it should bring up the link. There it is. Then you can grant an offer, revoke an offer, subscribe to an email sequence, register for an event, add a tag, send an email, send a coupon. So I'm going to add a tag, and that tag may be, let's say that's the life click. So WW Life, Weekly Wisdom Life click. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. And then boom, and I save it. And now when somebody clicks on it, you can see this automation for that link that it automatically tags their contact record. And I wish I could show you contact records, but again, there's critical privacy issues that would be a problem if I did that from that perspective right now. But inside their contact record in Kajabi, you would see a tag on the side that would say, if they clicked on it, www-life. Does that make sense? Just want to make sure you see that. So that's the email part to this. Now, if you really get the strategy dialed in that I teach back in the weekly wisdom, how I'm adding continual value every week, that's what you got to do. And you can schedule them. So I hope this is giving you hope, ambition, and drive and tactics to go after that. And that's one of the continuity pieces. Meaning that if you're going to add value, the people who create the most results are doing it consistently. And I got to send a shout out to Lucas, who took our strategy, our monthly, how we're creating continual value monthly, and just stepped into it and has been doing weekly ahas from the moment I trained that. Good job, my man. You are just crushing it. Taking decisive action consistently. Then third is create your offers, which we've done. We created the monthly program and the strategy. Create your weekly value, which we just walked through. Just so you have frame, here's the landing page, bit.ly/ww4u, the landing page for signing up to be in my email list to get weekly wisdom. And that you can feel free to go to that page, and I'll make sure it's linked below, but it's bit.ly/ww, the number 4, the letter, or the word U, and you can get into it and copy it and make it your own. Just get used to, and I'll show you a little bit of it, the actual landing page editor inside Kajabi. It's so powerful, and it's got templates and stuff, so it makes it easy to do that. So we have the weekly wisdom, weekly value. Share your value on social for awareness. So the context for that, I'm trying to think if I can show you that. Let me, facebook.com. Let's go in here, and we'll go to Health, Wealth, and Happiness with Charlie Caldwell. That's my page. Let me do Health, Wealth, and Life and Business. This is my group. And so in here, you'll see that I've taken a lot of the links that are showing up in the weekly wisdom, and they're popping out. Like this was from last week's weekly wisdom, how to generate leads with Instagram stories. So that's the kind of context for that. Does that all make sense? I hope that helps. I just want to make sure you're seeing this as we're working through it. Cool? So our job is to operate strategically and smartly. And I hope you're seeing how this all pieces together and how Kajabi is helping us facilitate this in a really easy to use fashion. It may seem like overwhelming until you get in there and kind of get your own comfort level with it, but I hope you sense that. Always remember, and I want to make sure as we end our training today, as we think about, and actually I'll go through the landing page real quick with you, but as we really encapsulate what we've covered today, work the green to get the green. Assure, and I always draw that little drawing, I think you can see it. Yeah. This little guy is you, or gal, and you're working the green to get the green, and now you have a flow where you can take money, offer value, and create awareness. At the awareness level, we're putting links that we put in our weekly emails into social. And I teach that in How I'm Creating Continual Value, so watch that training if you haven't. At the lead conversion level, we're saying, you know what, if you're struggling in these areas, take this assessment, fill out this report card, join my 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge so I can help you move forward faster. If you really want my help, join my monthly program. Get a strategy session. So we've gone from putting awareness out there to get people, wow, Char, you shared with me this, to get into an assessment to see how you're rating, or a report card, or the 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge. And that makes them an email for you, a lead conversion, to, hey, if you're really looking to fast forward this, let's get on a call and see how I can help you. Or just reaching out to people you know, big thing we've always taught in our mastery community, and just saying, hey, you know what? How you doing in life? What you struggling with? And if it happens to be in your warehouse of how you can help them, boom, send them the assessment. Send them the challenge. Let them know there's a path for you, and I'm here to help you. A lot of our people in our group are coaches. Some of them are CHPCs, certified high performance coaches, and we're blessed to be able to have a strategy session. We're blessed to have our frameworks. And we're blessed to be able to help everybody. Because I believe, and Lucas, I think, even wrote this down in one of our chats, every business needs high performance. It's an awesome way of being. And it's so much fun when you can bring high performance into a business. That being said, as a bonus for you, I'm going to go through and show you from the creation of a page. So we'll go into website, pages, how you can create your own landing page. So let me go ahead and click new page. And we have Kajabi pages. So you can choose a template. Let's choose, and it's funny that one of them is named me. Let's see if we have showcase. It's blogging theme. Let's do this one. McKenna. Get started. Title. Weekly Wisdom. It's installing the new theme now. So what it's doing is using a template, putting it into your Kajabi, and then you just have to change it to make it yours. So you would add the background that you want. You just click edit the text. So for me, as you probably saw with my other one, Weekly Wisdom, every Sunday. And then down here, how would you like to get informative, helpful things to increase or to improve your life, grow your business, and really generate more sales online every week, ... right? And that's how easy this is. Now this particular background, that may not be my scene, right? So there's a way to change that picture in the background. And this whole editor, although it looks a little intimidating at first, this whole editor is so incredibly powerful. So here's the background image. You can select a different image. And you would upload a new file. And then that image would be replaced with whatever that picture is that you have. And then boom, you publish this. You can make this page your home page. Like the page that when they go to your domain name and they land on it. That's really easy to do. And next thing you know, you have a lead magnet for your homepage. Or in my case, I have a store for my homepage with a lead magnet. And I'll just show that to you so I can end on a note where you know what I'm talking about. You have the ability to join my 10-day health, wealth, and happiness challenge. You have the ability to join our community. You have the ability to get a strategy session. Does that all make sense, how this ties together? I hope I didn't overwhelm you. Here's the thing, just get in and do it. I had to commit to that with the new Kajabi, and I think it was in 2016 or 17. I just set an hour a day to get in Kajabi and make it work. And it's a lot easier now than it was then. So that being said, I hope with everything we've covered today, and we got nitty gritty for you too, that we've really lived into the quick start walkthrough to create a profitable biz. What does it actually mean with what we covered? It means you have a very clear mechanism for adding value, putting value on social, getting people to become an email, give you their email or call you or direct message you, and get them to buy something from you. And I hope we laid that out in a proper way for you today. If you have any questions or I missed anything, whatever that is, let me know and we'll talk about it on a Zoom roundtable. Look forward to seeing you there. Remember, I'm here to help you live into those 5 Ps, to live more purposefully, more passionately, more positively, more productively. And I hope you saw the power of Kajabi and how that can help. And more profitably too. And I hope you saw the power of Kajabi there too. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the roundtable. Take care. Have a good one. Peace out. Bye. We rocked it.